Peace and wealth, beautiful souls, magnificent beings. What if I told you that more isn't intrinsically better? Better is intrinsically better. In this video, we'll break down a few things and we'll uncover some truths about toxicity, mold, and your health. We'll also go into detail about why you should have your child's mineral and vitamin levels checked before you get them on any type of prescription med for any behavioral problems. And again, you want to have those things checked. So let's dive into the video. The first video we're dealing with is mold toxicity. We're going to do the mold toxicity and we'll have Dr. Emmy come on board and drop some knowledge on us. Let's dive in.
You're trying your darndest to lose weight. You've done everything you're supposed to do, diet, exercise, even maybe check your genetics, but you're still not losing weight. This is one way that toxicities, including mold toxicity, can affect your weight loss journey, even though this may not be the actual reason that you are gaining weight. Now, mold toxicity is linked to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes in some preliminary studies. But what's even more strongly linked is the treatment that they do for people that may have some of the sequelae of mold toxicity. So mold toxicity, the common things that it causes is sinus infections that won't go away, allergies, and it's never tested for. And a lot of times people are just given antihistamines, these drugs that are supposed to block the histamine response and then help you with allergies. Now, I'm not telling you to stop your antihistamine without speaking to your doctor. But I do want you to know that antihistamines can really increase the risk of insulin resistance and weight gain. So if you are having chronic sinus issues and no one has checked you for mold and you're taking antihistamines that may be contributing to your weight, maybe it's time to get to the root cause. Want to learn more? Let us know. This has been Dr.
That was some great information from Dr. Emmy, one of the individuals that I turn to for some good information that indeed makes a difference. So one of the key points that you want to hone in on is this, that those antihistamines can cause or are linked to insulin resistance. And if you are unexpectedly picking up weight and you happen to be on antihistamines, this may be something that you need to look into. Also, again, understanding how to detoxify your body from mold is another thing that you will have to research. So again, getting your body or getting rid of the mold out of your body first by being tested and also getting yourself off those antihistamine may be the key to allowing you to drop the weight. We are flooded with toxins pretty much in everything that we encounter within this modern convenient society. Therefore, we have to realize that there is a possibility that we may be contaminated with mold, and we're definitely more than likely contaminated with some form of toxic chemical from all the encounters of toxicity that we engage with every day, knowingly and unknowingly. So in this next video, we're going to bring up Dr. Eric Burke, and we'll allow him to talk about children being deficient in vitamin D. We'll bring him on the board and we'll allow him to illustrate what it is that he wants to actually talk about. So let's bring him on the stage. Allow me to get the right screen up that I want you guys to see him from. Don't want to see him there. Here we go. We'll bring him up now and we'll allow him to talk, all right? I tried to get him up there a little bit better, but he's not cooperating.
So I want to talk about why so many children have low vitamin D levels. Well, the first reason is the invention of our friendly computers, right? They're inside, they don't go outside. When I was a kid, probably when you were a kid, you were outside constantly. So if there's no sun, you're not going to get vitamin D. Okay, number two, low-fat foods. Generally speaking, the high-fat diet has not gone mainstream yet. So people are still feeding their kids more low-fat foods, which basically have 2.5 times less vitamin D than higher fat foods. Number 3, grain-fed meats, farm-raised fish actually have lower amounts of vitamin D. Number 4, low magnesium in their diet. Where do you get magnesium? From leafy greens, vegetables. Kids are not consuming enough vegetable. They're not getting magnesium. They're going to be deficient. You need magnesium to absorb vitamin D. All right, number 5, sugar, especially fructose, degrades vitamin D. Number 6, asthma and allergies. When you have these conditions, you're going to have lower amounts of vitamin D. And by taking vitamin D, you can actually improve these conditions, FYI. And number 7, a fatty liver. So the less capacity of liver function, the less amount of vitamin D you're going to be able to process, store, and make enough bile to actually extract vitamin D from the food that you eat. And you're definitely going to have a fatty liver if you are overweight. And you can see in the last 2 decades, the trend is kids are getting fatter and fatter and fatter. And with that comes insulin resistance. If you have insulin resistance, you will not be able to absorb vitamin D as well. So that's another big reason why kids have a deficiency of vitamin D. If you have children, I would highly recommend that you start giving them some vitamin D. You can even get it in a liquid form, put some drops into their water, and they won't even know they're getting it. All right, thanks for watching.
Yes, he makes some critical points that you and I, we must come to the realization of, and we must start to examine a little bit more. The fact of the matter is this, family, our children have been subjected to a nutritional intake that is having detrimental effect on their bodies from the inside out, meaning they are deficient in many minerals and vitamins. He only touched on vitamin D, but they are deficient in many minerals and vitamins. You, being the responsible parent, you should go and have, when you take them to the doctor, have your doctor run a full, complete blood panel on their vitamin and minerals levels, not just the basic ones, but also checking for magnesium, for zinc, for chromium, for all these things that the body needs, because these children are not eating a nutrient dense diet, so they are coming up nutrient deficient. And this not only has a profound effect on their weight, but it also has a profound effect on their behavior. And this is why we must start to really realize the importance of nutrition, not only for our health, but for our children's health. And we must be willing to, again, get the tests ran and get these panels that to make sure that our kids are not suffering from X, Y, Z before we put them on any type of pharmaceutical drug for behavior issues. First, run those tests, get all those tests back, make sure they're not deficient before you make that drastic move to put them on a pharmaceutical drug to control their behavior, because many of those things are irreversible, and the detrimental long-term effect on those drugs on your kid is hasn't been necessarily studied, but as you see a bunch of adults who are in emotional turmoil, many of them were on pharmaceutical drugs for their behavior problems, and it only has made their situation worse. Again, we'll get back to you next week, or we'll get back to you tomorrow with a workout video. In this video, I just have my clients in the background, and they're doing a back fly. That's a back fly movement right there. Again, tomorrow you have the actual workout, not this one, but another one. Have a beautiful day. Sending you peace and always love. Peace.